On a balcony overlooking Tarvalon, Siwan prepares for a momentous confrontation. Leanne informs her that it's time. Moiraine and Lon watch the White Tower from afar, sensing something ominous. Inside the tower, Liandrin is informed that Siwan has summoned her, though only the sitters of each Aja are allowed to attend. Suspicious but resolute, she strides into the chamber, where the sitters await judgment. Ivan and Maxim try to accompany Alana for protection, but are denied entry. Liandrin wastes no time, accusing Siwan of treason for secretly meeting Moiraine, despite being banished and even encountering Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn, allowing him to escape. Siwan swiftly counters, exposing Liandrin as a Dark Friend and a member of the Black Aja, a secret faction within the Aes Sedai that serves the Dark One. To prove her claim, Siwan presents Niniev, revealing that Liandrin sold her to the Shonchan, a foreign empire that enslaves channelers. Liandrin does not deny the accusation. Instead, she rises into the air, channeling with deadly intent. Siwan retaliates with fiery golden weaves, binding Liandrin and demanding she reveal every Black Aja member before her execution. Liandrin calls upon her Black Aja allies. Sitters from different Ajas rise to defend her. Alana and Leanne rush to protect Siwan as the chamber erupts into a brutal battle of power and betrayal. Nynaeve attempts to channel but falters in the chaos. One of the Black Aja destroys a pillar, sending it crashing toward Nynaeve. Another channels debris at Siwan, knocking her down and breaking her hold on Liandrin. Outside the chamber, Maxim and Ivan battle the Black Aja alongside Sutama and Galina from the Red Aja, an Aja known for hunting down men who can channel. However, Liandrin regroups with her sisters, urging them to link their powers. Together, they unleash a devastating energy pulse. The Black Aja sees the opportunity to flee. Siwan orders her sisters to track them down. Meanwhile, Varen, Adelius and Naomi, Aes Sedai scholars searching for lost knowledge and artifacts, are on a separate mission, securing sacred objects for Siwan. But the mission takes a dark turn when Naomi reveals herself as Black Aja, attacking her companions and stealing the artifacts. When Adelius awakens, she no longer recognizes Varen, her memory shattered. The Black Aja regroups, with Naomi telling her the objects are secured. Their plan? Escape Tarvalon by ship. However, before they can flee, they are confronted by Alana, Maxim, and Ivan. A fierce battle ensues, and at a critical moment, Maxim and Ivan stab Liandrin through the heart. Just as they prepare to finish her off, the Black Sisters intervene. One of them, a former Yellow Aja member, the Aja dedicated to healing, heals Liandrin just in time. The Black Aja retaliates, sending Alana crashing into stone columns. Before departing, Liandrin takes control of a bloodied sword with her mind, hurling it toward Alana. Maxim shields her, but Ivan takes the fatal blow. As he collapses, Maxim feels the severance of their bond. Alana wails in agony. Determined to root out the remaining Black Aja, Siwan scours the streets of Tarvalon, but she is ambushed by Joya and Amiko, who murder her daughters. Not biological, but Aes Sedai often call their novices and accepted daughters, and restrain her. When Siwan starts breaking free, they decide to crush her beneath the debris of a collapsing bell tower. At the last second, Moiraine arrives, stopping the rubble from burying Siwan. The two women lock eyes in an emotionally charged moment, before Moiraine disappears once again. Inside the White Tower, Lan finds Nynaeve unconscious amidst the wreckage. He cradles her gently, as she stirs awake. Later, Nynaeve reunites with Egwene, Rand, Perrin, and Mat. Rand reveals that Moiraine wants him to go to Terra, where the legendary Sangreal Kalendor, the sword that is not a sword, awaits. The Sangreal is a powerful artifact that enhances the One power, and Kalendor is said to be key in defeating the Shadow. Moiraine informs the group that she has arranged for them to sail to Terra at dawn. With the White Tower under siege and Rand's identity now public, staying in Tarvalon is too dangerous. Mat convinces Rand and Perrin to join him for a night out in town. Avienda, an Aiel warrior of the Maidens of the Spear tasked with protecting Rand, and the other Maidens of the Spear keep a close eye on Rand. When Rand asks them to leave him be for a while, Bane and Shiad refuse, insisting their duty is to ensure his safety. Avienda, however, remains skeptical about Rand's worthiness as the Karakhan, the prophesied leader of the Ael. She reminds him that he hasn't even faced the trial of Ruadian, a sacred test in the hidden Ael city that determines the true Karakhan. Rand argues that she refuses to train him, so he doesn't even know what the trial entails. Avienda reveals that her people have waited centuries for the Karakhan, but Rand's reluctance makes her question whether he truly cares. At a bar, someone sketches Mat with the Horn of Valere, an artifact that summons legendary heroes when blown. Mat enjoys the attention, boasting about his feat. Rand confesses he has slept with an innkeeper named Selene, unaware that she is actually Lanfear, one of the Forsaken, the most powerful of the Dark One's followers. Egwene, Nynaeve and Elaine have a girls' night, where Egwene confesses her lingering trauma from her captivity under the Shanchan when Rand touches her. Siwan later warns Egwene and Nynaeve to be cautious of Rand. The more he channels the One Power, the closer he edges toward madness. She tells Egwene that if she leaves Tarvalon without the Great Serpent Ring, she may never return to the Aes Sedai. Egwene refuses to resume her novice duties unless she's allowed to go through the Arches to become accepted. The Amirlan agrees, and Egwene steps into the Arches for her trial. Inside, she sees a vision of herself as the Amirlan seat. She, Nynaeve, and Elaine encounter Rand, who has succumbed to madness. Standing in a river, he demands they bow to him. Egwene steels herself. When she emerges, she is covered in blood. Lan and Moiraine encounter Lanfear, who urges Rand to go to Tear and use Kalendor to defend himself against the other Forsaken. Intriguingly, both Moiraine and Lanfear seem to agree on this path. However, Lanfear believes Rand's friends are holding him back, and she suspects Moiraine will do whatever it takes to remove them. After Lanfear vanishes, Lan warns Moiraine not to trust her. Moiraine instructs Lan to retrieve his Valkyrie blade. If she's wrong about Lanfear, they'll kill her. Lan reassures Nynaeve that Egwene will be fine. Nynaeve, still shaken from her own trial, tells him about the vision she saw in the Arches, one where they had a child and were truly happy. Later he shows Nynaeve his father's Valkyrie sword, voicing his concerns that the Forsaken won't just come for Rand, they'll come for everyone. Meanwhile, Aviendha and Elaine share a flirtatious moment, with Elaine reassuring Aviendha that Rand will grow into his role as the Karakhan. Later, Loyal and Rand study the prophecies together, with Elaine reminding Rand that wielding power means making choices that will help some and hurt others. She warns him not to make an enemy of Aviendha. He needs an army, and if he can win Aviendha to his side, they would be loyal to him forever. Siwan officially raises Egwene to accepted, slipping the Great Serpent Ring onto her finger. Now Egwene has the freedom to come and go, but she makes it clear to Siwan that her duty is to the light, not the White Tower. Without hesitation, she departs, determined to carve her own path. Rand and Moiraine discuss their next steps. Rand worries that retrieving Kalendor and Tear might be a trap set by the Forsaken. He confesses he'd rather return to the Two Rivers, or he can trust the people around him. Moiraine warns him that a militia of farmers won't be enough against the Shadow, and if he goes home unprepared, he'll only be leading his loved ones to slaughter. Frustrated, Rand asserts that she no longer controls his destiny. That night, Egwene tends to Rand's wounds, and when he asks about her trial in the Arches, she only says it was terrible. She admits she saw a version of him inside, but assures him she's not afraid of who he is. As they grow intimate, Egwene suddenly flashes back to her trauma in Falme, reliving Rena grabbing her throat. Though shaken, she tells Rand she wants to try moving forward. Mat and Nynaeve share a quiet moment together. She reminds him she's still his wisdom and wants to help him. Mat, however, is plagued by strange memories, some that aren't even his own. Ever since he blew the horn of Valere, something inside him has changed. As he absent-mindedly shuffles his cards, the images start shifting, pulling him into a trance. Egwene wakes from a nightmare, only to find herself in another. An alternate version of Rand is strangling her, while the real Rand tackles him, telling her to run. More versions of Rand appear in the mirrors around the room. At the same time, a cloaked stranger suddenly stabs Nynaeve from behind. Perrin and Loyal are also attacked by an axe that moves on its own, nearly killing Bane and Chiad. The chaos spreads. Mat remains frozen, hypnotized by his shifting cards, while Moiraine and Lan listen from a distance, unmoving. They've struck a deal with Lanfear, and this attack is part of her test, to determine who among them is truly strong enough to aid Rand in the coming battle. Egwene realizes the mirrors are the key. When she smashes one, an alternate Rand shatters with it. But before she can react, another alt-Rand stabs her in the gut. She urges Rand to destroy the remaining mirrors, and he eventually does. Loyal smashes the cursed axe, severing its power. Lan, unable to stand by any longer, charges into battle, stabbing Nynaeve's attacker, a grey man, a soulless assassin of the Shadow. Moiraine rushes in to heal Nynaeve, barely saving her. Lan and Moiraine confront Lanfear. Nynaeve was stabbed 11 times. This was excessive, even for her. Lanfear, however, is alarmed. Only one Forsaken can create grey men. And it isn't her. She urges them to get Rand out of Tarvalon now. With the battle behind them, the group faces a crossroads. Nynaeve and Mat choose to stay in Tarvalon, while Perrin, Loyal, Bane, and Chiad decide to return to the Two Rivers. Since Loyal saved the maidens' lives, they vow to protect him. Egwene insists on staying with Rand. Before parting, Lan gives Nynaeve his mother's ring, telling her he wouldn't want anyone else as his queen. Aviendha declares that she will accompany Rand, but not as a follower. She's giving him a chance to prove he is truly the Karakhan. Ran surprises everyone by announcing that they won't be going to Terra. Instead, they will travel to the Isle Waste, where he will rally an army of Isle warriors to fight the Shadow. Elsewhere, Moghedien, the most secretive and dangerous of the Forsaken, tortures Jaikim, a white cloak, warping his body until he becomes another grey man. With her latest assassin under her control, she gives him a mission: find them. 20 years ago in Camelin, the high seat of Andor, Morghese Tracond, heavily pregnant with Elaine, ascends to the Lion Throne after a bloody battle for succession. The noble houses of Andor kneel before her, swearing loyalty. Suddenly, those standing behind the house leaders slit their throats. Morghese, unwilling to risk further treachery, anoints the killers as the new leaders of their respective houses. Elaida crowns Morghese as Queen of Andor as the people chant her name. In the present, Elaine overhears Leanne and Varen arguing in the corridor. Tensions are high in the White Tower. Varen stops by the room Elaine is cleaning, remarking that her mother's coronation song is playing. Why is Queen Morghese in Tar Valon? Sure enough, Morghese arrives with Lord Gabriel, her prince consort, along with her sons Galad and Gawyn. Elaida trails behind them. Siwan makes them wait a beat before Leanne announces their arrival. We learn that Elaida is of the Red Aja, and has long been a part of Andor's court. When Morghese meets with Amirlan Seat Siwan, she demands to see Elaine. Siwan assures her that Elaine is safe, and promises to personally escort her to meet her daughter. However, when Morghese calls Siwan by name instead of mother, Siwan swiftly puts her in her place. Notably, Morghese wears a Aes Sedai ring. Perrin, Loyal, Bane, and Chiad return to the Two Rivers through the ways. Loyal, suffering from the longing, a fatal condition for OGAs who stay away from their steading too long, looks worse for wear. Back home, Perrin finds the Two Rivers under White Cloak scrutiny. Egwene's mother Moiraine hides them at the Winespring Inn, where Alana and Maxime are also in hiding. Moiraine explains that the Children of the Light, who despise Aes Sedai and Channelers, led by Dane Bornhald, are searching for him, seeking vengeance for the death of Dane's father, Geofram. Alana and her warder Maxime reveal an even graver threat. Trollocs have returned to the region. Knowing his presence endangers the